Hi, hello everyone. Thanks for joining in again to my channel. This is Michelle Evans, and if you're just finding 490 days, it sounds like it's gonna be some crazy docu-series, and in a way it is, but it's all true, first of all, and second of all, I chose that day because 490 days from today, my guy will be celebrating his birthday. And of course, he's going to have a birthday before that because a year is 365 days. So obviously, it's an important birthday, and we'll get to that. So to recap, I had described in my first video what I was going through in terms of feeling emotionally and physically neglected by my fiance Drew. And I also described finding a sexual outlet that was a lot of fun on Reddit called Gone Wild. And after that, I moved on to a better subreddit more suited to my needs called Naked. Very to the point, right? Okay, so this is where I'm going to pick up because that's where it is. If you need more details about what happened prior to this, I would suggest watching the first video because it's a lot, and it took me 14 minutes just to get to how I got onto Reddit, so it's too much to explain. But the brief synopsis is just that I was feeling neglected, so I went and sought fun on this beloved website because I love Reddit. So anyway, okay, so I've been on Reddit for years under different accounts. I don't do it for popularity. If you use it, you know that there's karma, whatever. The highest karma I ever reached was like 14,000 something, and I got a couple of gold donations and silver donations, but I don't do it for that. I just do it because it's fun. I get to talk about things that matter to me, like when I got sterilized 2 years ago. I chose to get a salpingectomy, which is where they take your fallopian tubes out so that you cannot become pregnant. I actually wanted to get my uterus out because periods are horrible and a curse. But my gynecologist had said, we're going to leave your uterus in simply because if we take it out, you're going to go through, oh, there's a name for it. Now I can't think of it. Well, anyway, it would cause me to go through menopause way earlier than I should. And even with estrogen pills, it wouldn't matter. So I chose that particular site, or that part of the site, because I never wanted children. And that was the only outlet I ever found where people understood, and they didn't judge me, and they didn't say, oh, you made a mistake, or it's God's will that you'll have children, or that's what a woman does, or you'll regret it. Like, Reddit has been my savior. When my grandmother died, Reddit was my savior. When I needed to rant about shit, Reddit was there. Like, I fucking love that website, and I love the CEOs. Like, you guys have made life bearable for so many of us. So I'm thanking you for that, and I think everyone who feels the same way that I do would thank you personally if we could. We love you. So, like in true form, I had opened up a separate account for my sexy stuff just to, like, you know, cut loose. I didn't want my friends who existed on my previous account to know what I look like naked, because that would be awkward as all hell. Like, hey, what's going on? Like, no, I know. Like, you know me as the girl who gives you guys funny rants or talks with you about dolls and shit. Like, no, like, we're not having this discussion. So I had gotten onto the Naked forum and I was taking pictures that were provocative, but they weren't like those stupid cream pie photos that I see online. And I mean, you know, for some people that's fine. I'm not trashing it, but it's definitely not something that I want to do. Not only that, I don't take full body nudes because I have tattoos in random places, and I don't want to get identified by people who may know me in real life, because I know friends who are on Reddit in my personal life. But we all have this understanding that that's our sanctuary, so we're not like friends on there. Like, we don't follow each other or anything. I don't even know my friend's handle, and that's fine. I don't want him knowing mine either. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if I take full body shots, people are gonna recognize my tattoos. And what if my oldest friend in the world, Nick, sees it and he's like, "Oh my God, that's Des." Like, you know, like that's Michelle. Like, what am I gonna do? So I can't have that. So anyway, I get onto the naked forum. I'm taking pictures, and mostly it's like pictures of either my ass or my breasts, right? I'm very curvy and I'm very short. So, and I'm white, which is funny because I have a black friend who tells me I'm built like a black girl, which I hope is not offensive to say. I think he just says it to make me laugh because he's ridiculous. But I am short and very stacked. Um, it goes from like curvy legs to a big behind and hips, and then all of a sudden like 42 Ds, and then it's my head. So it's almost comical. Like I don't even look like a real person sometimes. So I've been trying to like lose weight. I guess just to feel like less like Dolly Parton or something. And I don't know. It's like I don't want to just be like the short stacked girl. I don't know. It sounds ridiculous when I say it out loud. Like we should find beauty in ourselves, but sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, I don't look real. I look like a fucking hentai character or something. It's just ridiculous. And so I started taking photos and hiding my tattoos, and one day I had posted a picture of my behind, and it looked good that day. I don't know, it looked a little fuller, or like muscular, I guess you could say. Like it didn't look like a piece of fat on my lower back. It looked, like a sculpted ass. So I posted a picture of it, and I got this like random comment that was badly worded, and I read it over twice, and I was like, what the hell? And he was like, oh, I've never seen such butt or something. And I'm like, okay, it's just another person making a stupid remark. Fine. And I responded to him, and I was in a flirty mood that night, so I said, well, it's sexy looking, whatever, but I've never lost that virginity. And he went into this whole tangent in the next comment, and he's like, well, it's the most amazing thing ever, I love it, blah, blah, blah. So at first I thought either it was a gay man, or a bisexual man at least, or it could have just been a woman who likes anal sex. So I had responded, and I was like, well, is it good? I heard it hurts really bad, especially the first time, like with anything that you do for the first time, especially for females, because we're the penetrative sex. We're not the ones that give it, we get it, and that can hurt a lot, especially the first time. So, like, I wanted to know. I had said, well, are you a guy or a girl? Not that it matters, but like, will it hurt differently if you're a female or a male? And he tells me I'm a male, and I'm pansexual, and I've been with transgenders, I've been with non-binaries, and I've been with cisgendered people. And pansexual translates to basically someone who has a broader sexual spectrum, I guess, than someone like myself, because I've never dated a transsexual. Not that I'm being prejudiced, to each their own. I just never had the opportunity personally, because I know like one transsexual person who was a man who became a woman, and she's not interested, which is fine, because we're like good friends, and it would be weird, I think, if we cross that barrier. So, but other than that, I honestly don't even know anyone. So, and that's funny considering I live in New York City. Like you would think like this liberated place would have all of these people, but different types of people, I mean. And yeah, so we started talking, and I can't remember exactly what it is that I said, but I told him that, he made me laugh, and thank you for being so honest. And he said, well, your friendliness is really putting a bright spot on my day. We had met on January 1st. It was the evening of January 1st, so all the hoo-ha from the holiday parties are done. It's a little depressing. It's cold, it's nighttime, it's dark out. And I think that everyone was just feeling like the post-holiday blues. And, I dig it. So we started talking some more. And I'm trying to be encouraging, because when I was younger, I had like a lot of narcissistic tendencies. And obviously I still do based off of what I did, but I'm better than I used to be. So I was trying to be encouraging, and I tried to, make him feel like it wasn't that bad, and if he ever wanted to talk, I'm there, I'm trying to find good friends that I can be more honest with, because my whole life is like a lie, so I needed people that I could be honest with on a different scale. And he was like, yeah, don't be a stranger. And then no, I DM'd him, actually. I sent him a private message. And, I just told him, I was like, you sound really cool. I hope that everything works out for you. I was looking at his profile, and he was talking about how he broke up with his ex. Well, actually, it's further than that. His ex dumped him because Gray, the man that this whole story is about, the man that I'm speaking to in this video that I'm describing is actually the Gray, okay? The most important facet in this whole story. So Gray tells me that he cheated on his ex-boyfriend and he feels terrible, and he was very suicidal about it, and he was going through terrible remorse, and he didn't understand why he did it. So I told him from my perspective, I was like, well, it sounds to me like you did it because you don't want to be happy, which is very much a clue into where my mental state is because of what's going on with Drew, right? You have something good, you mess it up. Are you self-sabotaging, or are you really not satisfied? That's the question. So I said to him, I was like, either you weren't feeling good about yourself and you didn't think that you deserved happiness, or it just wasn't the right person and you feel bad because you know you did something fucked up rather than being honest. And I was like, but it's understandable. And I don't judge you for that because we're all guilty of screwing up. And it kind of took off from there. So this is at the 12-minute mark, so I'm going to have to leave you guys for now, and I will make another video. And thanks for any encouragement, any kind words, and simply just thanks for being here with me and listening, because this isn't easy to talk about, and I'm not proud of it, but it's something that has to be said, and I think it'll normalize situations where people fall in love outside of an existing relationship. And it also proves that there are really almost no limits, no gaps that can't be crossed when you feel that strongly for someone. So I'm going to leave you right here, and then I'll pick it up in like half an hour.